Hey folks, welcome to this week's big picture video for the adventure. This past weekend, we talked about bad patterns and how if you want to change them, you have to start thinking differently. The definition of insanity, as we discussed this week, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And so this week, I want you, as a parent, to talk with your student about habits. I've given you two resources from Charles Duhigg's book, The Power of Habit, in the conversation queue portion of this weekly email. Now, one of them is called How to Change a Habit, and the other is called How to Create a Habit. They're both very similar, and I think they're both very useful tools to either change or create a habit. And the habit that we want to focus on this week is daily Bible reading. Now you say, aren't we always focusing on that? Yes, that is the case. I would love if your student came to class on Sunday and said, you know what? I've read the Bible every day this week. That is something that is so important. This week we talked about Ephesians chapter 4, 21 through 24, where Paul talks about taking the old self and its bad habits, bad patterns, throwing it off, putting on the new self, its uncorrupted self, good patterns, good habits. And he says the only way you can do that is by learning from Jesus Christ. Yes, you can hear about him, whether when you go to church, when you're in small group, but really it's you have to internalize it, as we talked about a few weeks ago with memorizing Scripture. You know, this idea of bringing Jesus Christ into our hearts, learning about his truth, and bringing it into our hearts so it can indwell within us. And so this week, I hope that you go through the resources with your student. They're fun, they're simple, and there's a reward to them, so your student will likely love them. And encourage daily Bible reading. Let's go ahead and say, let's start with Matthew 5. All right, Sermon on the Mount. It's got a lot of good, useful things, chock full of information. All right, so spend some time this week with those exercises, reading the Bible with your student, encouraging them to dive into the Word every day. If your student doesn't have a Bible yet, we're going to get another shipment of Bibles here, and we'll give them to them for free. So if you have any questions, please let us know. And thanks so much.